Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am your narrator, Captain Kevin Walters, and on behalf of the Commander, 5th Bomb Wing, Colonel Brad Cochran, welcome to Minot Air Force Base and the 5th Operations Group Change of Command ceremony. We are pleased you are with us today in this important ceremony as we bid farewell to Col Scott Maytan and welcome in a new leader, Col Ryan Gorecki. Our ceremony today is a celebration of both continuity and change. Continuity in the form of a military tradition whose roots reach back through the time to the legions of ancient Rome to the passing of signets that once symbolized the transfer of command from one to another. Change, as the great command says farewell to an honored leader and welcomes his successor through a ceremony that differs only in style, not substance, to that of those of the Romans. Once members of the official party have taken their place, please remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors by the Minot Air Force Base Honor Guard, the playing of our national anthem, and the invocation by Chaplain Ryan Bull. Today, we are honored to have many special guests in attendance. Special guests of Col Scott Maytan include his spouse, Mary, and their children, Alice, Caroline, and Medora. Special guests of Col Ryan Gorecki include his spouse, Katie, and their children, Harvey and Brett. Distinguished guests in attendance include spouse to the Commander, 5th Bomb Wing, Miss Keva Cochran. Joining virtually, Commander of the 91st Missile Wing, Colonel Glenn Harris. Vice Commander, 5th Bomb Wing, Colonel Brian Vaughn and his spouse, Meg. Joining virtually, Vice Commander, 91st Missile Wing, Colonel Barry Little. Command Chief, 5th Bomb Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Erin McElroy and her spouse, Scotty. We would also like to welcome all other commanders, chief, first sergeants, friends, family, and members of the 5th Operations Group joining us virtually. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the arrival of the official party.
Present the colors. Cool.
Well, please, on. Chaplain Bull, if you'll please come forward to offer the invocation.
Please join me in prayer. Almighty and ever-living God, we thank you for the countless blessings you have bestowed upon us as we serve our nation here at Minot Air Force Base. We give you thanks for Colonel Maytan's 2 years of dedicated service to you and to our country as commander of the historic 5th Operations Group, where he faithfully led over 360 War Eagles in flying our nation's premier nuclear bomber force, while successfully transitioning the group from CENTCOM combat operations to the Indo-PACOM AOR. We also thank you for the unending support of his beloved wife Mary and his beautiful daughters Alice, Caroline, and Medora. Please continue to bless them as they move to their new assignment at NORTHCOM in Colorado Springs. Lord, we also ask that you pour out your blessings upon Colonel Gorecki as he takes command at Minot Air Force Base once again. Grant him wisdom, courage, and strength, so that guided by you, O Lord, and always strengthened by his loving wife Katie and his sons Harvey and Brett, he may faithfully and selflessly lead the 5th Operations Group War Eagles in the honorable pursuit of your peace. We ask all of this in your most holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may please be seated. Thank you, Honor Guard and Chaplain Bull. Now it's my pleasure to introduce the commander of the 5th Bomb Wing, Colonel Brad Cochran.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. We've got like 50 people in the room. Maybe not that many. 30 people in the room. So it's nice to have some feedback. Hello to everybody out there in Zoom land. What a fantastic venue to change the operations group. You know, as I listened to the national anthem, and as we walked up front, and as I listened to the national anthem, it's rooms like these that have a lot of bomber history and heritage. In alert facilities, at the start of World War II, in tin shacks where bomber crews would fill the facility and receive their targets for the day. Anytime I come into a room like this, I'm overwhelmed with history and heritage of those that have come before us. And so there's no better place, I think, to do a bomber ops group change of command than in a briefing room like this, where we have that history and heritage to remind us of why we're here. I'd like to extend another warm welcome to those in attendance today. I think I heard Colonel Harris is on the line, and I'm not sure if Donna's out there as well. Colonel Little, and if Sarah's out there. I know Colonel Vaughns here, Meg's here. Kev, thanks for being here. Chief, Scotty, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I'm not sure if Chief Langston or Serena's out there, but thanks for being here today. Or if any of our honorary commanders, I know that Bruce might be online. I'm not sure if he's out there today, or Linda. But to all the other group commanders, thanks for being here. Superintendents, chiefs, airmen of the 5th Bomb Wing, airmen of the 5th Operations Group. Thanks for all being here today. A special thanks and a special welcome to the Maytan and Gorecki families. I know that we've got, we've got Mary, we've got Alice is here, Caroline's here, Medora's here, Kelly says hi. And then we've also got the Gorecki family, Katie, Harvey, and Brett. Thank you for being here. It's awesome. We're so glad to have you guys here. So thanks for being with us for this special ceremony today. Okay, so today I'm honored. I'm truly honored to be on stage, and it is an actual stage. But I am honored to be on stage with 2 exceptional officers, leaders, and combat aviators. Each has distinguished themselves throughout their career and are here on stage today as a result of their extraordinary accomplishments and their ability to lead. Today we honor the esteemed commander of the 5th Operations Group, Col Scott Maytan, and recognize and recount the efforts he and his family have rendered to this group, this wing, and to our nation as defenders of our freedom and the backbone of our nation's shield. Strongbow and his family returned to Minot 2 years ago, back to what I would call his roots, because for those that don't know, the Maytan have spent a total of 10 and a half years here at Minot throughout his career. They served 8.5 years early on in their career, and now have served 2 additional years as the Ops Group Commander. In fact, Colonel Maytan has actually served at Minot as a lieutenant, as a captain, as a major, as a lieutenant colonel, and as a colonel. Pretty incredible. He knows and understands the importance of this base, this mission, what nuclear deterrence means to our nation, and what it does to maintain our freedom. As such, he also understands the critical need to be prepared for combat operations, to build a group of airmen who are ready for any foe, anytime, anywhere. This is what has driven him over the past 2 years to build the next generation of combat aviators and leaders. Men and women that would be ready to drive the tip of the spear, airmen who are ready to fly, fight, and win for our nation. Throughout his time here, Strongbow has succeeded in all of those. He's succeeded in accomplishing this vision with tremendous success and with tremendous rewards. No doubt about it, our nation's enemies around the world have taken notice of the men and women of the 5th Operations Group. Let me just recount for you some of the accomplishments of this group. He's made, under his leadership, the 5th Operations Group has made global strategic impact, supporting 6 combatant commands on 6 continents and AORs. And I know I went to public school, but I think there's only 7 continents out there. But truly, truly incredible that you have done that in just 2 years. He foresaw and undertook the 2 big week exercises that are remembered from World War II, that were acknowledged as big weeks, where we put up 800 bombers over the skies of Europe to attack targets. And in memory of that, we launched bombers here to both sides of the continental United States on the same day to train and do simultaneous strikes on either side of the country. Under his leadership, we had the first ever Air Force Global Strike Command Bomb Wing Agile Bomber exercise, which is an exercise where we were really getting after the Chief of Staff of the Air Force's intent for future non-sanctuary fight, for how we were going to fight the next conflict. 2 Global Thunders, 3 no-notice generations, 7 red flags, red flag Alaskas, green flags, and all other flags. 2 hectic rollers, one of them being the first ever no-notice nuclear generation jointly with Barksdale. 5 combat hammers and combat raiders, 2 African Lions, 2 checkered flags, 8 Strat-X's, ball tops, flew 6 Giant of South missions, where his group worked with the Coast Guard and did NTISR seizing over $25 million, which led to the seizing of over $24 million of narcotics, all under his command. 69th Bomb Squadron deployed to Indo-PACOM for the longest B-52 deployment in history. And the 23rd Bomb Squadron deployed to Indo-PACOM for the busiest continuous bomber presence ever, accumulating over 315 sorties, 200 higher headquarters directed sorties, and almost 2,000 flight hours. It was a 54% more, or a 54% increase in higher headquarters directed missions. They flew to 9 forward locations around the area. And most recently this week, during the Surge Week, him and his group are flying and participating in mining exercises off the coast of California. That's a lot. And all under your leadership, and all of it performed exceptionally well. So our enemies have taken notice of the 5th Operations Group. They've taken notice because of these exercises and these examples of combat air power, but they've also taken notice for what he's done to innovate, to prepare for, and to help build alliances for the next conflict. Let me list a few of these. Under his leadership, the group did the first ever austere BTF, which we just talked about, refining a bare base and setting the standard across Global Strike Command. They accomplished the first no-notice dual-wing generation, which was huge innovative effort, because a lot of times when we do a generation, it's planned in advance and we have all those details. But we know in a conflict, we're not going to have that amount of time for planning. First ever B-52 KC-46 testing, integration, and certification of aviators. I was in a briefing several months ago, and Barksdale was claiming that they were the first ones to test with the 49th test down there. The first first KC-46 testing, and I quietly raised my hand and said, "Oh, 5th Operations Group already accomplished that." The first bilateral Indonesian Defense Force and B-52 integration, the first ever B-52 missions to India, the first in history for the simultaneous bomber ATIS penetration across 2 combatant commands. And we can't talk about too much about that one in this particular environment, but what an incredible demonstration of air power launching from Minot Air Force Base across the North Pole to do training in those 2 AORs. The first BSART off station in over 5 years. Demonstrated flexibility in combat air power when it comes to our strategic mission. The list goes on. First ever mauled for an air-to-ground WESIP. Shacked 3 targets. Exercise for exercise combat hammer. And the first ever integration, like I talked about, for African Lion with Moroccan JTACs. Pretty impressive. And so when you look at all of these accomplishments, not only has the world taken notice of the men and women of the operations group for the exercises that they've participated in, but because of these non-traditional and first ever accomplishments that demonstrate combat air power from Minot Air Force Base and your ability as a group to strike anywhere at any time around the world. I think we can all agree Colonel Maytan has stayed true to his original charge, ensuring his airmen are ready to strike tonight. Strongbow and Mary, thank you. Thank you for the incredible effort you have given this wing, this group, and our community. We will miss you greatly, and we wish you Godspeed in your travels and more great success in your next assignment in Colorado Springs. And as we bid farewell, fond farewell to a friend and our outgoing commander, we also welcome in a new friend and our new one. Ryan and Katie and their family, we welcome you back to the Warbird family and back to the Minot Air Force Base. Colonel Ryan Gorecki is no stranger to Minot Air Force Base either. He's no stranger to the 5th Bomb Wing or the 5th Operations Group, having served as the former 23rd Bomb Squadron commander here. He and Katie have distinguished themselves as a leadership team through every step of their journey in the Air Force. He arrives ready to take the guidon as a distinguished officer, proven in combat and in garrison as an exceptional leader. He is here with us not by accident, but by merit. Ready for this challenge with a long list of career accomplishments that prove excellence is his hallmark. Most recently, he served as Chief Bomber Requirements Division, Directorate of Strategic Plans, Programs, and Requirements, Air Force Global Strike Command at Barksdale. There, he led the MATCHCOM team in providing B-1, B-2, and B-52 modernization requirements, future weapon and test requirements, and support system requirements. He is an absolute experienced and combat-proven B-52 instructor and evaluator pilot with over 300 hours of combat time. He is also definitely not new to our strategic mission. Not only has he commanded the 23rd Bomb Squadron, as I just mentioned, he also served on the air staff at the Pentagon within the Strategic Deterrence and Nuclear Integration Directorate, where he was responsible for creating, writing, and implementing nuclear policy and strategy for the entire Air Force. He is absolutely ready to lead. He has the absolute credibility of over 300 combat hours, weapons officer, SAS grad, who's ready to lead this wing, or this group, under the 5th Bomb Wing into the future. You are absolutely ready to lead the next generation of airmen in the finest traditions of this legendary and storied group. Colonel Gorecki, to you I give this charge: to prepare your airmen to win the next fight, to take care of them and their families, and develop the next generation of leaders. Ryan, Katie, congratulations on taking command of this group. Welcome back to Minot, back to the greatest, most powerful base on the planet, back to the home of the Global Striker. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for marking this storied occasion as we recognize and celebrate these two fantastic leaders and this transition in this storied and historic location. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Colonel Cochran. At this time, Colonel Maytan will receive the Legion of Merit. Due to current social distancing procedures, his medal is currently on display on the table. I ask that you all please stand for the reading of the medal. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Legion of Merit to Scott H. Maytan. Colonel Scott H. Maytan distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 5th Operations Group, 5th Bomb Wing, Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, from 18 July 2018 to 15 July 2020. During this period, Colonel Maytan's highly effective leadership resulted in extraordinary success of the 5th Operations Group as it provided worldwide agile bomber lethality to 6 combatant commands across 4 areas of responsibility, including the busiest and the longest continuous bomber presence deployments in history. Additionally, his leadership was pivotal in the execution of the first ever austere bomber task force operating construct, providing B-52 agile conventional capability by executing 5 sorties in a robust large force exercise and benchmarking a new concept across Air Force Global Strike Command. Furthermore, Colonel Maytan's innovative group-level training efforts prepared 2 squadrons for deployment, upgraded wing-level nuclear generation and mission execution training, and integrated routine training with other wings in Air Force Global Strike Command, boosting cross-tell and expanding operational readiness across the enterprise. Moreover, his superb leadership ensured the 5th Bomb Wing exceeded all nuclear mission readiness requirements during the delay of one of the nuclear-capable bomb squadrons from deployment during the 2019 coronavirus disease global pandemic. Finally, Colonel Maytan brilliantly led the 5th Operations Group to excel during 3 higher headquarters directed inspections, including the 2019 Nuclear Surety Inspection, where his group garnered 11 Superior Performer Awards, culminating with the best nuclear surety inspection in Air Force Global Strike Command history. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Maytan reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Scott Maytan.
I thought about bringing that water up here with me because I had a little bit of an incident last time, but we'll see how it goes. All right, yeah. Thanks, boss. Okay. So today is a tough and an exciting day for Team Maytan. When I showed up here 2 years ago, on a very similar July day in a similar setting, I was careful to tell the audience that part of why we were so excited to be back here is because it felt like I was coming home. 2 years later, it's very tough for me to tell you that we're leaving home. And the reason why it's tough to leave home is because when you leave home, you're leaving your family. And without a doubt, Minot has been a great, big, wonderful family for the Maytans. Boss, thank you for your kind and sage words this morning. Really appreciate that. Colonel Gorecki, I'll try not to be too long. I know you've got some words to say as well, and then we've got a group to run. But I do ask that you permit me a few minutes to talk about that wonderful family that has just been so amazing for the Maytans. So let me start with Mary. Mary, thank you. Thank you. Girls, I think we made it. Boy, it's been a crazy couple of years. Sure, Dad's been a little bit busy. Mom has been busy. Everybody's had stuff going on, and we've worked to try to find a way to do this. Sometimes a success, sometimes not. Man, it's all been fun. And now we're going to the next thing, and I can't wait to get there with you. Thanks for hanging with me these 2 years. Mom and Dad, I know you're out there. Assignment number 14 is done. Assignment number 15 starts in about an hour. Helping out Scott moving around, to Mary and Scott moving around, to our growing family. You've always been there. And we can't wait to see you in Colorado when things allow for that. It's not supposed to be this hard, right? Colonel Cochran, excuse me, and all the wing leaders and spouses in the wing leadership team, thank you for your vision and your guidance, your team focus especially, and your friendship. You know, being an airman's hard. It's hard if you're an A1C. It's hard if you're an NCO. It's hard if you're a captain. It's hard if you're a colonel. And the fact that I think we're able to work together as a team and feel that team, it all comes back to that idea of leaving my family here. I think we've been able to do some great things and do them better than we would have because we've really come together as a team and as a family. So I really appreciate you all building that culture for us and giving us the room to maneuver within that. My fellow group commanders, squadron commanders, you know, it takes over 4,000 airmen to do B-52 flying operations at this base where we have 26, sometimes 27 B-52s. Strategic bomber ops are complex and they're not easy. And it takes all of us and all of our skill sets and all of our resources. I'm grateful for the chance to work with each one of you and to learn a lot from each one of you about how we all fit together to make this work. Because it takes all of us to fly those airplanes. And that continues on to the rest of Warbird Nation and Rough Rider Nation and all of our friends here in and around Team Minot. Boy, it takes a village, and every one of us is involved, and it's just been fantastic. If I haven't been able to talk to you in person before now, please accept my words here. I'm grateful for my chance to know each and every one of you and learn. Within Team Minot, what a fantastic community. We were talking last night about this thing called the Barksdale Trophy, and how it probably should be called the Minot Trophy, because it spends so much time up here too. We've got a lot of airmen up here that spend a lot of time a long way from home, and the real families that they have, and the way that this community brings them in, and the way that this base works. The whole thing just works, and it's just unbelievable. So I really am grateful to Team Minot. And within that, Mary and I are especially grateful to Bruce and Linda Christensen. I think they've been honorary commanders for the operations group since 1919. Since this whole thing started, and it's just been unreal to hear them talk about other names that I might know, people that we know, people that they keep in touch with. We met Bruce and Linda our first day in command 2 years ago, and I think from the get-go, Mary and I observed that we felt like we'd known them forever. I know now that we felt that way Not because of some trick that Bruce and Linda have up their sleeve, but because of their genuine care for people and for this community. And everything they do is centered on making all of that work. So Bruce and Linda, thank you for your service to the group, to the base, and to the community. Family is fantastic. My Minot family is fantastic. But the only reason that I have a Minot family is because I, like everybody else that's here in uniform, and many that are not, are here to support our mission at this base. And so to the men and women of the 5th Operations Group, it's just been unbelievable. We've heard the boss talk about all of the amazing accomplishments this group has driven towards in the last couple of years, and that's just a snapshot of what this group has done in the past, the last 2 years, and what it's about to do in the future. While he was talking, we could hear the jets running outside, and on the other side of this wall today, we're flying 10 B-52s as part of just a big week of additional training and focus, because we're pushing ourselves to be just as good as we can be. Because like the boss was talking about, we've always got to be a step ahead, and this group always is. The 360 people that are in the operations group truly are an elite team. Disciplined, combat-ready airmen, always ready to supply B-52 strategic capability for our nation. And I'll always be able to say that I was a War Eagle and that I served with you all in the 5th Operations Group, and that's fantastic. And so today is a tough day, but today is also an exciting day because the group gets to welcome another part of the family. So Colonel Gorecki, Katie, Harvey, Brett, welcome. It's a great place to be. You're going to love it. Our group is fantastic. Every single person in it is going to welcome you in. Colonel Gorecki, we heard what the boss said, and it's all true, and you are the right person. And I'm so excited to see an old friend of mine that I've known since about 2005, I think, come up to Minot again and join this outstanding organization. You're the right guy for the job. You're going to lead this group well. But I got to warn you, the group's running hard right now, and you need to keep up. So no pressure. But with that, and there's nothing better than being a War Eagle, so I'm grateful for that opportunity. It's been a great 2 years. Colonel Gorecki, now you're a War Eagle. What an honor. Best of luck to you. Thank you.
At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Jose Castaneda of the 5th Operations Group would like to bid a farewell to Colonel Maytan by rendering him one last salute. Pleasure working for you, sir. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the official change of command. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, 5th Bomb Wing, Special Order Number Golf 20026, dated 27 June 2020. By order of the Commander, Colonel Scott H. Maytan will relinquish command to Colonel Ryan E. Gorecki, 5th Operations Group, 5th Bomb Wing, Minot Air Force Base, North Dakota, effective 15 July 2020. Signed, Colonel Bradley Cochran.
Sir, I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Commander, 5th Operations Group, Colonel Ryan Gorecki. All right.
Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful being here today. It's a great return for us coming back to Minot. It does feel like family, so we're very glad to be back here. I'm very humbled to be taking command of the 5th Operations Group. Katie and I and our sons, Harvey and Brett, are happy to return to Minot as we've had many fond memories from our last assignment here. And we look forward to being a part of both the Warbird family and the War Eagle family, which that's new, so I like it, and that's cool. Colonel Cochran, thank you for taking the time out of your incredibly busy schedule to preside over this change of command ceremony today, and I really appreciate your words and also the challenge you laid out, so thank you very much. I know we'll only have a minute here before your family departs for DC, but I wish you and your family the best and safe travels and good luck in your next assignment. So thank you very much. Also to our 91st Missile Wing partners, so Colonel Harris, Colonel Little, I know you're out there in BTC land. Thank you very much for being here today with us virtually. On the 5th Bomb Wing side, Colonel Vaughn, Chief McElroy, also other group commanders, Colonel Black, Colonel Cowley, squadron commanders and chiefs, thank you so much for being here. And the Gorecki family looks forward to working together in our time here in the future. Colonel Maytan, I'm incredibly grateful to follow in your footsteps, as I know you and Mary have done an amazing job leading the men and women of the 5th Operations Group. Your leadership and dedication resulted in a job well done, and so I wish you Godspeed to your next assignment in Colorado. So thank you very much. Father Boyle, your blessing was especially meaningful to me today, coming from a fellow Air Force Academy classmate, and I know it will start my command off in the right direction, so thank you. I would also like to thank, of course, the team that put this together. I know it's no easy feat. It's been a wonderful ceremony, and putting something together takes a lot of work. So I'd really like to pass my thanks to the Honor Guard team, Protocol, Public Affairs, both Captains Harris and Captain Walters, Chief Swanson, and the many others that helped to make this event happen today. Thank you very much. And then to the men and women of the 5th Operations Group out there on the Zoom and the virtual world, so the Ironmen, the Nighthawks, and the Barons, I'm truly honored to serve as your commander, and I look forward to working with you as we defend our nation, deter our enemies, and assure our allies. And I would like to close with my expectation for the 5th Operations Group. We will be lethal and ready in order to dominate in any endeavor, and the mighty B-52 will take us there. So thank you very much.
At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Jose Castaneda of the 5th Operations Group would like to welcome Colonel Gorecki by rendering him a first salute. Next, the men and women of the 5th Operations Group would like to present flowers to Dr. Mary Maytan and Miss Katie Gorecki. However, due to current COVID conditions, we've placed the flowers at your chairs. Dr. Maytan, please accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation, and we wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you. Miss Gorecki, please accept these flowers welcoming you to the War Eagle family. We look forward to working with you during your time here. In keeping with Air Force tradition, we'll conclude today's ceremony with the playing of the Air Force song. While it's customary for Air Force members to stand, we invite all our guests to join us in standing for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party and special guests.